Hi, I'm Maria McFadden, and this is my presentation on Harry Israel Harlow, the man of controversy and monkey business. Harry Harlow was an American 20th century psychologist that was known for his monkey science love studies on how the maternal bond with infants are developed. Was it through satisfaction of needs being met, or was it through nurturing and love? Harlow set out to discover the answer to this and through the psychoanalytical ideas other psychologists had out the ballpark. Harry Israel was born October 31st, 1905 and died December 6, 1981 of a stroke. Harlow grew up poor in a small farming community in Fairfield, Iowa with his parents, Mabel Rock and Alonzo Harlow Israel, and his three brothers. His birth name was Israel, that he later changed his father's middle name, Harlow. Mr. Harry was very shy and smart growing up in Iowa. He had a speech impediment that may have been the reason for his shyness growing up, and it was a challenge nonetheless when it came time for Harlow to speak in front of 300 students when he would later begin teaching and delivering speeches. Mr. Harry attended Stanford University, and after majoring in English for a semester with terrible grades, he decided to major in psychology. While at Stanford, Mr. Harry studied under Mr. Louis Tierman, the developer of the Stanford-Binet IQ test. It was Tierman that strongly suggested to Mr. Harry to change his name from Israel to Harlow for fear of having a Jewish last name back then. Mr. Harry received his Ph.D. in 1930 and then moved on to becoming a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Dr. Harlow truly wanted a lab at the university, but they would not allow it. However, that did not stop him. He went on, found a vacant lot not too far from the university, and gathered some fellow graduates, and they renovated the vacant building into what became the first of its kind primate laboratory. There, at the once vacant building, some 40 students earned their Ph.D.s, and leading research was taking place with primates. Harlow's personal life is a little complicated, and he endured some very difficult times. He first married one of his students, Claire Mears, in 1932, and they had 2 children, and then they divorced in 1946. In 1946 also, he married child psychologist Margaret Quainey. They too had 2 children. Margaret died in 1971 after a very long battle with cancer. Dr. Harlow battled with depression during this time, and he went to Mayo Clinic for treatment for approximately 3 to 4 months. Upon finishing his treatment at the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Harlow sought out to learn more about depression through his work in the primates. Harlow shared with a student and future colleague, Stephen Suomi, states in the rigorous experiments on monkey love, an account of Harry F. Harlow's role in History of Attachment Theory, 2008, Integrative Psychological and Behavior Science. There are 2 topics I'm especially interested in these days. One involves the study of cognitive development using tests like cross-strain tasks to assess some advanced cognitive capabilities in young monkeys, and the second involves developing monkey model depression. Then in 1972, Harlow retired and remarried Claire Mears, his first wife. They lived in Tucson, where he battled Parkinson's disease and then later passed away. Harlow received many awards: Howard Crosby Warren Medal, the National Medal of Science, Gold Medal from American Psychology Foundation. He served the head of Human Resources Research Branch, the Department of Army. He was the head of Division of Anthropology and Psychology of the National Research Council. He was consultant to the Army Scientific Advisory Panel, and he was the president of the American Psychological Association. But what Harlow is most known for is his monkey love studies. Harlow's motivation for his research was to understand the science of love. He created the science study of love in what ended up being a very controversial way. Monkey love science studies was controversial because of the treatment of infant monkeys. Some critics stated that it was cruel. He used maternal deprivation, meaning he would take the infant rhesus monkeys away from the mothers just hours that they were born and put them with surrogate mothers he created. One would be constructed of bare mesh wire, a heating element, and a nipple with an unlimited supply of milk so that infant could eat as often as it wanted to. The other surrogate mother was made of wire covered with soft terry cloth, heating element, and a nipple, and the infant rhesus monkey clung to the terry cloth surrogate repeatedly. Harlow then took the nipple out of the terry cloth surrogate and only provided milk with the wire surrogate. The infant rhesus monkey would only go to the wire surrogate to eat, but then would go right back to the terry cloth surrogate and stay there. In repeated study, this is what happened. Harlow proved that the bond between the infant and the surrogate was not to do with satisfying the need to eat, but the need to be nurtured and loved. The infant rhesus monkey was secure with the terry cloth caretaker, as you can see the examples right here. This proved that there is a bond beyond just being fed and there is more complexity to the attachment between a mother and child. Harlow then took his surrogate study to a new level by dividing the rhesus monkey into 2 groups. One group had the surrogate mother with terry cloth and the other only had the mesh wire. Both sets ate the same amount and grew the same amount. However, they acted different socially. The ones with the mesh wire surrogates acted very differently, but the ones with terry cloth surrogates were developing at a normal rate. Harlow hypothesized that they benefit from a psychological resource and benefit from emotional attachment, being able to hold and cuddle a surrogate mother. Harlow made his conclusion when he noticed how the rhesus monkey would respond when they were exposed, being frightened by loud noises, strange objects, or stressful situation. The group that was with the terry cloth surrogate would run to the terry cloth surrogate and rub them and that would calm them down. In contrast, the rhesus monkey with the wire surrogate did not go to the wire surrogate. They would frighten, they would throw themselves on the floor, scream, and rock themselves back and forth. The Adoption History Project stated, these outcomes closely resemble behaviors of deprived children observed in institutions as well as pathological behavior of adults confined to mental institutions. Harlow noted the awesome power of attachment and loss over mental health and illness could hardly have been performed more dramatically. I will end on this quote from the New World Encyclopedia. It is hard to imagine that Harlow's research that showed the significance of touch was so revolutionary, but in this time many psychologists rejected the word love, talking only of proximity between mother and child. Harlow, a man who by all accounts lived a rather isolated life himself, still retorted to such comments, perhaps all you've known is proximity. I thank God I've known more. Thank you.